Nobody likes someone who breaks the rules, but there's a difference between breaking the rules and finding a loophole in them. And that's what I want to talk about. Guys who found some loopholes in the rulebook and used it to their advantage, whether it's a coach or a player. So in this video, we will be going over 5 of the many times we've seen a player or a coach hack the NFL rulebook. And let's start off with the king of this, Bill Belichick himself. In a playoff game between the Ravens and the Patriots, the Ravens who always give New England a difficult time, Belichick knew he was going to have to get a little bit clever, and a little bit clever he did. So I've circled a wide receiver right here, but it's worth noting wide receiver is only in name on this play. He is not, in fact, an eligible receiver. You see, you don't have to have offensive linemen be the ineligible receivers. You can have anyone be an ineligible receiver. Now, there's certain requirements on what you can do as an ineligible receiver, but on this play, he's essentially just a decoy. You now have a player who's currently lined up as a left tackle, but he is a tight end who he's going to essentially be a sleeper agent right here, where Baltimore, as you can see by looking at them, they are not at this point fully ready for a play. There's a bit of chaos going on. As you see, Baltimore's still not really ready for exactly what's happening. Brady's going to just take the snap and flip it to who they thought was an offensive lineman, is not, and they pick up a decent amount of yards and pick up a first down. They did this a few times in this game. In fact, at one point, Harbaugh got so frustrated, he actually got a flag thrown on him, so it gave you even bigger of an advantage for the Patriots. New England would go on to win this game, and certainly this was a benefit in doing that. Okay, number 4. Let's go from a Bill Belichick one to, okay, let's stay with a Bill Belichick one. Why not? Because this was another classic example of Belichick just thinking differently than everyone else is thinking. So let me pause it and really set the stage. What is happening right here? The situation is everything on this play. There's only 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in the game, and the Patriots are down a point. And you look at it, it's 4th and 10, and they're at their own 2-yard line. So for them to get a first down here seems very unlikely. They're probably going to have to punt. However, that lies an issue, right? Punting outside of the back of your own end zone, it's going to be tough to get the ball too far, and it seems very plausible that Denver could at least get in field goal range, and even if you get a 3-and-out and a stop, they could kick a field goal and go up 4 points. So, what does Bill Belichick do? Well, he says, hey, in this situation, field position actually might make more sense than 2 points. As you see, they just snap it directly over the punter's head. At first, the Denver crowd thought that that was a mistake, but it wasn't. This was entirely intentional and kind of one of the, ingenious things Bill Belichick can come up with. As crazy as that seems, you might be thinking, okay, well, it still made your odds of winning, go from very small to still very small, just slightly bigger. Well, you forgot that they have Tom Brady, and after getting a stop, they got the football back and would go on to get a game-winning touchdown and win the football game. So not only was it a smart decision by Bill Belichick, it worked, and it got them a victory in that game. All right, next hack, let's go on to, okay, yes, another Bill Belichick one. Trust me, this is the last Bill Belichick one. Hey, he's made a lot of ones. This is the last one of him, of this video, and it's a classic. So you see what's happening here. It's, there's, clearly not much drama in this game. The Patriots are up 33-0. If you look at the play clock, there's only 2 seconds left. So, okay, New England's going to have to hurry to get the snap off, right? Well, no. As you see, they're going to be in no hurry to get the snap off, and they get a delay of game. While it might seem like a mistake, no, this was entirely intentional because of this. So this is kind of a hilarious thing in the game logs where they didn't put penalties in the game logs. So what you see here is that 3rd and 9 at the New York Jets 40. Tom Brady had a 7-yard pass to Bolden, so they got it to 4th and 2. But then what's interesting about this is that you see in this moment, the next play was ran a minute and a half later. So kind of a weird jump there, because usually you can only run plays 40 seconds later. This is because a rule that is now canceled, but at the time very much existed, is if there's more than 5 minutes left after a penalty, the play clock resets to 25 and the game clock continues to run. The rule itself kind of made sense because, like, okay, who cares about this, exact few seconds with more than 5 minutes left? No one's paying attention to the game clock. But in a situation like that where the Patriots are up big, getting rid of a minute and a half is a good strategy. However, this is not the end of the story. Going over here now, New England now trails a point, and this is in a playoff game, so much bigger of a situation than blowing out the Jets on a random Monday Night Football game. The Titans lead by 1, and as you see on the game clock, only 2 seconds left, so the Titans gotta get this one off in a hurry, huh? Again, you're gonna see sort of a false start and even pretending as though he made a mistake there, which clearly this was intentional, but still a penalty. Bill Belichick was very much not thrilled with his tactic getting used against him here. And then here on the 4th and 14, but actually kind of crazily what happened was New England would be the one who made the mistake here. Watch what happens. You see a Patriots player was over the line, the Titans called them out, and they were able to get them to commit a penalty. So again, looking at the box score here, it really kind of shows exactly how this strategy worked. On a 3rd and 3, Ryan Tannehill fumbled the ball, but then, it was covered by Derrick Henry, so whatever. You lost 2 yards, but you still have possession. You're going to punt here, given where you are on the field. So what they did is, because field position doesn't really matter, is they intentionally commit penalties to kill the clock. Because again, this happens at 6:39. But then there's a penalty and a delay of game. So, okay, you take the delay of game, and then later on, there's a penalty for a false start because you can't commit the same penalty over and over again. That would be a 15-yard penalty, which would hurt you a little bit. But doing this can, basically causes you no damage while still being able to kill the clock. Finally, on the 4th and 15, there was a penalty on New England. So by the time they actually punted the ball, there was 4 minutes and 44 seconds left, even though the 3rd down was ran with 6 minutes and 39 seconds left. You killed nearly 2 minutes, and that was a game that the Titans would hold on to win by that 1 point. Hack number 4 is another interesting one, and to be honest, I'm not entirely sure it's fair to call this one a hack, because I'm not sure if it was intentional, but either way, it was cleverly using the rule book in a way that helped the Cincinnati Bengals, so I'm going to include it anyways. To set the stage, because once again, the point in the game is going to be very key here, so same score as last game, interestingly enough. The Bengals lead 14-13, but Tampa Bay has the ball just on the outside of field goal range with 32 seconds left. The Buccaneers have no timeouts left. The Bengals have 2. As you see, Josh McCown's going to take the snap right here. He's going to eventually throw over the middle. They get a completion, get a first down, and more importantly, get in field goal range with 26 seconds left. So this is all well and good. So Tampa Bay is now hurrying to get to the line. They're about to spike the ball, but before they do, something else happens. What else happened here? Why would you do that? Well, actually, it wasn't a timeout, but Marvin Lewis threw the challenge flag because he wanted there to be a review. As you see on this still frame, what you can clearly tell is, just by looking at it, quite frankly, there's too many men on the field. Tampa Bay has 11 men on the field. They wanted to challenge this, but of course, as you know, it is against the rules to challenge with under 2 minutes left in the game. However, Tampa Bay was hurrying up to the line to spike it, and the refs were not going to blow it dead to challenge it. So Lewis had to do something. He threw the challenge flag, which resulted in a penalty of having to then take a timeout, which maybe he still could have gotten the same result had he just taken the timeout. But in throwing the challenge flag, it also let the refs know maybe we should review that. They did review it eventually and say that Tampa Bay did in fact have too many men on the field and pushed them back 5 yards and negated the big gain that put them in field goal range. And as you see, McCown's desperation play later on to try to get him back in field goal range fell short with a pass to Mike Evans, short of the first down marker. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers would go on to lose this game because Marvin Lewis challenged a play under the final 2 minutes of a game. In number 5, this one's kind of a more interesting one, and I wanted to, go back and get one that's kind of from a while ago. So I don't have any video clips for this, and in fact, it's kind of about not having any video clips. This is way back in the day, before there was film that you could watch, and in fact, this is before you even had pictures that you could take a look at on the sideline for the formations. But New York Giants co-owner Wellington Mara had an idea. He had a Polaroid camera, and so what he would do is he would go up into the stands and take pictures of the formations that he saw, and then would literally put it into a weighted sock and put it down a line, which eventually got to the sideline where they could look at the pictures and better understand the formations. This is amazingly not against the rules, and somehow instead of saying, let's not do that anymore, that just became okay to do. And in fact, teams later on would obviously develop this, and this is kind of what's turned into Surface Pros on the sideline now. So something from a very long time ago that would eventually turn into something that is still used today. And in fact, apparently part of the idea came from Vince Lombardi, which is interesting. So that's another fun wrinkle there. So that is my 5th hack of the NFL rulebook, finding little loopholes in the rules or just finding advantages that no one else has thought of. That's not technically against the rules. Some of this is sort of the Airbud strategy of there's nothing in the rules saying you can't do it, like that last one. So let me know what you thought of this video. Is this something you would like to see more content of? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. Also, tell me, hey, if you have a hack I didn't mention, put that in the comments below too. That could be fun. But yeah, let me know. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.